Alright guys, so I'm back again with another Little Big Planet Karting episode to begin episode number, of course, 9 of the series. And it's time to get back into the series again for another episode. And as you can see, we're going to now tackle through the last Grand Prix of the series that we have today, which is the Special Grand Prix. This is the last and final Grand Prix we have of the day, and will contain some of the most difficult courses that you'll see in any game. And with that said, let's go ahead and get right up to it. Alright guys, so to get started with the Special Grand Prix, we're going to begin with the first track, which just so happens to be an alternate version of Goomba Factory that we have encountered before in the Mushroom Cup. We're going to be using Sack and a Clock for this one, and we're going to be choosing him in the Cleaning Time vehicle. And we'll choose it in the tank setting. Cause why not? Anyway, starting off in the Special Grand Prix, we're going to begin with its Beginner Cup, known as, of course, the Fish Cup. And as you can see, we're going to head over to Tip-Top Factory as our first course. This is kind of an alternate version of Goomba Factory, as it takes place at night and all the Goombas are replaced with piranha plants. These aren't your typical standard piranha plants, no. These are actually special orange piranha plants that have time clocks on them, and they're only native to this part of the game and nowhere else. Now, another difference associated with Special Grand Prix, besides the fact that they have a 100-point bonus for third, second you'll get 200, first you'll get 300, there are 3 hordes at the first 3 places of each course, meaning that each track will have 3 horde opponents, H-O-A-R-D, for each of the tracks, meaning that this will get much harder than what it was in the past. So keep that in mind. But with that said, let's go. Alright, time to begin Tip-Top Factory. Let's get into it. Bye-bye. Go to sleep. Lap 2. Darn it, he stole my item. That was a close one. So we're so good. Lap 3. Oh, Horde Prince. That was my only item. Last lap. Okay, that's messed up. I will catch up to those guys. Yep, I'm first. Gotta say, that was a very close race. I could have lost, but Moonball is still won. So you know what? I'll take it. Alright, well with that, that covers the first track. It wasn't easy, but we did it. Don't upset that guy. Alright, so that takes care of the first track. Onwards we go into the next one. Alright, time for the second track of the Fish Cup. Just so happening to be another secondary version of another course. And for this one, I feel like in a good mood to pick Bunny for this course. Mainly because I think I have enough confidence in him. And we'll be choosing him in the Robo Bunny. And we'll pick it in the stock form. Because why not, you know? So, onwards we go down to our next track. Just so happening to be this one here, Diddy Kon's Cruiser. So as you can see, this track is an alternate version of DK Mountain and has a couple of new enemies besides the Takegons and Goombas returning. This track is the first to contain Womps, represented by blue pentagons, and there's 3 different versions of them, which we will feature them later in future episodes. But regardless, I digress. So yeah. Time to get started. Alright, time for the second course of the Fish Cup. Let's get into it. There's also a bunch of boats, since this is, you know, cruise. There's the Womps. It's a pretty calm, relaxing course if you know what you're doing, so... Okay. And this track also has 3 laps. And, of course, this track also features screaming pillars, represented by these gigantic pillars here. So we're so good. Ooh, that was a nice one. I knew it wasn't going to get that easy. I knew it. I have no idea what happened now. Last lap. Well, he's messed up. For real with that. And I still won. Okay, that was kind of tough, but we were still able to pull it through. So you know what? I'm not complaining whatsoever. Not even complaining. Alright, that takes care of our second course. Not too bad. Alright. That just leaves only 2 more left to go. So onwards to the next one. Okay, so this next track should be a familiar one that we have met before back in the Mushroom Cup, but this one's actually a harder version of that previous track. And for this one, we're going to be using Chef Piñata, or Piñata, for this one, which is a custom character I've made. And as you can see, we'll use him in the Sardine car. And we'll choose it in the Lowrider setting, because why not? Anyway, this brave chef is going to move on to a course that we have met before, but it's a harder variant of it. Sunset Desert. This is pretty much a remake of Canyon Desert, but is slightly harder than the last one, as it takes place at sunset, and the 2 ranging paths where you would usually meet 2 money mills is actually been blocked off, and you instead have to go through new pathways that have the fastest red Goombas in the world. And since they don't move, yeah. But they're evil red Goombas, is what I'm trying to say. You'll see as soon as we get into the course. But anyways, let's get into it. Sunset Desert, here we come. What a wannabe. No pun intended. This track also has 4 laps, so here's the red Goombas I was talking about. quickest one I've had. I don't know what that guy's doing. Alright, last lap. Alright, I tried to block him, but that was not working. I gave it some good effort, so I'm not too mad at myself. And just like that, we were able to defeat it. Got only minutes of stuff, but wasn't too bad. So overall, we give it some good effort. But just like that, that course is done. So that takes care of that. There is one more we have left to beat. One more. What could this last one be? Well, we'll find out right now. Alright. Time to begin this last and final track, which is also a familiar track from the Flower Cup, but is made a lot more difficult, much like the last one that I talked about. And for this last track, I think the only character that I can see that seems brave enough to tackle through this final course, in my honest view, has got to be this fella. Decepticon is the only one that I can trust. And for his vehicle of choice, I think I'm gonna honestly choose him in the Match Racer. Mainly because it seems to be the best choice of car for him, so that's when I pick him. So, for this last and final track that we're going to encounter, this is another hard version of the previous course. Say hello to Special Circuit. This is the last circuit-related course of this game that I created, and this is basically a harder version of Mario Circuit, as this track has more ranging paths that don't lead to piranha plants or Goombas, but rather more little Goombas and piranha plants, as well as green thwomps. Yeah, it's about to get down. Also, this track takes place at night, and unlike the previous version of the course, this actually contains a new music track, making it much more intense than what it was before. Oh yeah, it's about to get serious now. Special Circuit is clearly not the course you should mess around with. So time to begin the final racetrack of the Fish Cup. Let's get into it. Here we go. I don't know what they were thinking of that. This track also has 3 laps, so you're going to have to be really quick on this one. Got him. And just that finished. Alright, that covers every single track in the Fish Cup that I can cover. Alright, that essentially does it for the first Special Grand Prix Cup. It was not an easy cup, but we were able to do it. So that gladly takes care of the first Special Grand Prix Cup. Alright, that takes care of that. Alright guys, that's finally going to cover it for episode 9. I'm sorry my voice is really quiet. I was recording this very late, but yeah. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you guys next time when I come back, of course, for the next episode to tackle through the next Special Grand Prix Cup. But until next time, guys.